guys, it's Olivia. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you 24 pieces of advice as a recent class of 2024 high school graduate. So I have written down 24 pieces of advice from me to you. But as someone who recently graduated high school, I wanted to give you guys some of my advice and different things that I've learned over the last 4 years. Hopefully you can relate to some of this, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, or 7th or 8th grader about to go into high school. A lot of these are things that you can relate to in overall life as well. So even if you're out of high school and want to watch this, you can probably take some of these things with you too. But I want to stop yapping because I don't want to bore you, so we're just going to get into the advice. Before we start though, I just want to remind you guys to subscribe because I think 70% of my viewers are not subscribed. So let's change that. Go subscribe. And if you want to follow me on my other social medias, I'll always put them on the screen and in the link in the description box. First piece of advice is something that I thought I listened to freshman year but ended up not, and I really want to emphasize this one, but it's that your freshman grades matter. So many people think that going into freshman year, you know, it's your first year of school, you're not going to be applying to colleges as a freshman, so your grades don't matter. That is the farthest from true. If you decide to slack off freshman year and your grades go down, that's going to bring down your GPA for the rest of high school. Also going to set you on a path of having like a lack of motivation and a lack of effort in your classes because you think freshman grades don't matter, and then sophomore year you're going to kind of struggle a little bit. And then you're also making it harder for yourself the rest of high school by having to catch up and make up for your lack of effort freshman year. So just try as hard as possible from the get-go, and trust me, you will thank yourself later on. My next tip is also a really big one, but it's to get as involved as possible. Schools offer so many extracurricular activities, sports, and clubs, so try to take advantage, and you're not going to know if you like something until you try it. So even if you have the slightest inkling that you want to try a new sport or new club, there's a chance that you end up not liking it. Don't do it anymore, but you'll never know until you try. I also think that you should try to be involved freshman year so that it makes it easier for you to stay involved throughout the rest of high school. Because for me, I was only involved in one sport freshman and sophomore year, and then I ended up quitting junior year, so it was kind of pointless, and then I didn't end up joining all of the clubs that I was in until junior and senior year. But being well-rounded and trying all of these different clubs and activities will also help you find what your interests are, because high school really is that time where you should be figuring out, okay, I like this and I don't like this, especially because towards the end of high school, you're kind of expected to know a little bit of what you like so that you can figure out a career path, whether you want to go into a trade or whether you want to apply to college, whether you aren't into any of that at all and want to go a different path. Figuring these things out by getting involved in high school is definitely going to help you along the way figure out what you do and don't like. My third piece of advice is that a friend to all is a friend to none. I'm sure we've all seen those people who seem like they have like 100 friends, they talk to all these people in the school, they're always posting online about hanging out with all these different people every day. It might make it seem like they have that many friends, but they probably only have like a couple of close friends, and then the rest of them are just people that they hang out with when they want to post about hanging out with each other on social media, but they're not as close and they don't have those same like friendship values. Let's not be intimidated by people that seem like they have hundreds of friends, and let's also try not to be those people because you're not going to have that many close friends, trust me. Similar to this is that popularity is irrelevant. Literally, in life, nobody is going to care, not a single thought, to if Sally was popular senior year of high school. If Sally wants to live the rest of her life, that mindset of being stuck in high school, of, oh, I was popular in high school, I was this and that, and I was everything in high school, she's gonna be so humbled in her life. Don't waste your time trying to be popular, don't waste your time trying to be friends with the people who are popular, and do not waste your time caring about what popular people think of you, because as soon as you graduate high school, that popularity status just diminishes, goes away, doesn't matter, nobody cares. Is to challenge yourself. I personally was not one of the people that challenged myself, especially freshman and sophomore year. I didn't end up taking AP classes until junior year. And again, challenging yourself doesn't have to be taking AP classes. To challenge yourself can be different for everybody. For me, that was taking AP classes, getting involved in clubs, getting jobs outside of school, getting more hours in those jobs. Things like that was what challenging myself was, or maybe just to try a little bit harder in certain classes. Just challenge yourself, and then if it ends up not working out, you can always pull back a little bit, but at least take that step and at least try new things. I recommend that you try to sit in the front of the class. I know that that might not sound like the best thing, especially if you're a yapper and you like to sit in the back of your class and talk to your friends the whole time. Trust me, that will do you no good, because you're going to end up talking to your friends the entire time. You're going to sit in the back of the class, get distracted, look out the window, not pay attention to the teacher, maybe not be able to hear the teacher. Whereas if you just sit in the front of the class, you'll actually be able to see the board, you'll be able to ask questions without having to like speak over the entire class because you sit all the way in the back and have to like raise your hand. And then you have that awkward experience of like raising your hand and the teacher calls on you and then every single head goes. Try to figure out your preferred learning method. The way that I learn best is by writing out notes. And I'm not one of those people that can just listen to a lecture or just watch a video and sit there without writing it. I have to write it down or else it's gonna be in one ear out the other. My 8th tip is to plan your time. Being organized and planning your time will save you so much stress and will make it so much easier for you in high school. So whether that's, you know, buying an agenda or just putting it in your calendar on your phone or writing it down in your notes app, making to-do lists for yourself, definitely try to be as organized and plan your time. I really want a piece of watermelon right now. Next tip is that no one cares about you. And I don't mean that in like a harsh way, I just mean like people are so focused on themselves and their lives and their friends and family. People really don't care about what you're wearing that day, or if you are maybe having a bad hair day, or if your makeup doesn't look as good. People aren't paying attention to those kinds of things the way that you think they are. Trust me, I was the type of person that like I get so like paranoid that my outfit doesn't look great one day, or that like if my hair looks a little bit messy, that like people are looking at me like, do you see Olivia's hair today? Like, do you see her outfit? Like she's wearing like, ew, she's wearing sweatpants or something. Like, I don't know. The way that I helped myself with that is I kind of turned the way that I view that around and kind of flipped it so that rather than caring about what other people think of me, I would do things for myself. So if I was trying my hardest to pick out a cute outfit, I was picking that cute outfit for myself rather than for what others thought of me. If I wanted to fix my makeup to make it look better, I would do that for myself. Or if I wanted to curl my hair, or if I wanted to style it a certain way, like I was doing that for myself rather than to make others think that my hair looked good. And my 10th tip is that you're probably not going to have the same friends as you did going into high school when you graduate high school. I'm thinking that my friends that I went into high school with that I had from middle school were going to be like my best friends forever, and I probably only talked to like 2 or 3 of them. The rest of them are all new friends that I've made over the course of the last 4 years. I feel like everything really happens for a reason. I don't have any like drama or like beef with any of the people that I'm not friends with anymore. We just kind of drifted apart, and that's just life. That just happens naturally. If you're not friends with the same people over the next 4 years of high school, don't think too much of it. It's just how life works. You find new people, you make new friends, maybe spend less time with your older friends. That's just how life works, and that's how high school is gonna be. I genuinely think that like the people who are in your life at a certain time are in your life at that time for a reason. Whether you're gonna learn something from that friendship or that experience with this person, I feel like people come and go in your life when they're meant to, so just let it happen and don't overthink it too much. School is only 4 years of your life, not your whole life. I feel like there's definitely gonna be situations that'll happen for you, as did for me, where you're gonna think like, oh my gosh, this is the end of the world, this is the biggest decision of my life, when in reality, high school takes up 4 years of your life. And if you really think about it, in high school, you're so young still. Like, you go into high school at what, 14? You graduate at like 18? Like, you're just starting your adulthood when you graduate high school. Yes, 4 years is a lot, and you do change a lot as a person in 4 years. But then again, like, it's only 4 years of your life. It's not your whole life. So if something crazy happens, or if you have a negative experience like freshman year of high school, by the time you graduate high school, that's not gonna matter. Don't overthink certain situations that you go through in high school, because they really have much less of a meaning in your life than you really think so. Be smart with dating. Personally, my personal opinion, being in high school doesn't really matter, because it's a very slim chance that you're gonna stay with the person that you're with in high school. I don't mean to like, you know, put you down. I don't mean to scare you. You know, you might think that as a freshman, like, you're so in love with your partner and that you're gonna marry this person. I hate to break it to you, but there's a way higher chance that you're not gonna marry that person than the chance that you are going to marry that person. Just try to be smart with like who you're giving your time and your energy to. There's a lot of people, especially in high school, that, you know, don't really have the best intentions when it comes to being your friend or your partner. Maybe try to be careful, be nice to everybody, do not dwell on drama, because like I said, high school is only 4 years, and whatever drama or beef that you have with a person, it's not gonna last forever. It's only for a moment in time, and again, once you graduate high school, or even in a couple of weeks down the line, like, you're really not going to care about the situation. The next tip is to appreciate your youth and have fun. Obviously, you're a teenager and you're only a teenager once, so try to take advantage of as many opportunities to have fun as possible. Be smart though. Maybe going out with friends, or going to like sports events at school, or to like homecoming and prom and all of the other dances that your school might have. I didn't really get into that stuff until like junior and senior year, and that's one of my biggest regrets of high school. Freshman, sophomore year was like,
I'm not really a dance person, I'm not really a football game person, like, I don't really want to be social.
So I just stayed home, and I had the biggest FOMO. And now as a high school graduate, I wish I could rewind and go to all of the events that I didn't go to freshman and sophomore year. You don't need to have everything together. I know I kind of said things earlier that slightly contradict this, but you really don't need to have your entire life together, because again, you are just a teenager when you are in high school and when you're graduating high school. You don't know what job you want to have, what college you want to go to, where you want to live, whatever. That's totally okay. Again, you're only 18 years old when you graduate. Don't stress about it. Figure things out along the way. You have time, because the last thing that you want to do is apply to a random college end up at a random college that you're gonna end up hating and a major that you're gonna end up hating. It's okay to ask for help. If you're ever struggling in school or maybe with like mental health or any situation that life may throw at you, like teachers are literally there to help you. Don't force yourself to struggle with it and end up failing when you can just raise your hand and ask for help. Trust me, I get it. It seems like it's a stressful situation. So sometimes you might have a teacher that's really intimidating. 99% of the time, if you just ask for help, it's gonna make your life easier. Anyone you ask will be willing to help you. I hate to break it to you guys, but studying is cool. Being smart is cool. Getting good grades is cool. In the end, you're the one that's going to be better off when you get a good grade on a test or when you do well in school. So whoever's telling you that it's not cool to study is just wrong and they suck. The next one is more geared towards you if you're going to college. If you're not going to college, then not as important. PSATs, SATs, ACTs if you want to take that, as well as scholarship applications are so important. And some colleges don't require you to take those, but I do think that if you are applying to colleges with lower acceptance rates especially, you should at least try to take the SATs and the ACTs. I personally took the PSAT and the SAT twice. It's nice to have as an option. My next tip is a little more fun one, but it's to try to document as much as possible. If I could go back, I definitely would have taken way more photos and videos, especially like my freshman and sophomore year. I wasn't really focused on that. As life goes on and as you get older, you'll really appreciate having these photos and videos to look back on and to have as memories, which is why I started YouTube. Next is to be organized. A lot of people take this for granted and just kind of don't try it at all. Being organized, being on time with your work, not procrastinating. I struggle with procrastination. Don't be one of those kids that has like one folder or just shoves their paper into their backpack never to be seen again. Try to stay organized. Get as many supplies as you need to in order to do that. This next one is really important. It is to not be discouraged by competition. So for me personally, my grade was so competitive. There were literally kids in my school that would cry over getting like a B in a class. So don't be intimidated if you think you're trying your best and you still aren't as high ranked in the class, or maybe don't have the higher GPA that you want. You're still trying your best, and that's all that matters. Prioritize your mental health. If you are really struggling in a class and maybe really stressed out with school and extracurricular activities, jobs, and all of the other things that come with life in high school, definitely take a day off. Maybe do some self-care, try to do some things that calm you down. But prioritizing your mental health is so important because the less stressed out you are, the more focused and positive that you are, the better you will do in not only school but just life in general. Similar to my last tip is to know your worth and protect your energy. There are going to be those people in school and in your life that are going to be just like straight up energy suckers. There's going to be people in your life who are going to try to tear you down, and those negative Nellies, they want you to be negative. They want you to like react in a certain way because they feed on you maybe not doing so well. And try to find teachers that you can relate to and become a little bit closer with. It's actually really helpful when it comes to needing letters of recommendation for college applications. Becoming close with a teacher is going to help you so much because then it makes the process of having to ask them to write for you so much easier, and they'll be so much more willing if they know a lot about you. I'm not saying, you know, spend your whole day with that teacher. They don't need your like entire life story. Especially if they're like English teachers, you can ask them for like assistance. You can ask them to like read your college essays and your scholarship essays and things like that. My last tip before we get into the tips for my friends is to explore your interests. High school is like the peak time of your life to figure out what things you do and don't like to do in your life. So take advantage of all the extracurricular activities, take advantage of all the sports, take advantage of different job opportunities. Just try to do as much as possible because you're only a teenager once. You can find out what you're passionate about, and then you can maybe write your college essay about that. Maybe that ends up being like your major in college. Now we're gonna get into the tips that my friends sent in. Stuff we have for my friend Adriana, which she was just in my crumble video that I posted. So you guys should definitely go check that video out. Adriana said to stay on top of yourself and make sure that you get things done. Your best is your best, and don't try to be perfect. Also, I want to point out that a lot of my friends ended up kind of like repeating each other, but if anything, I feel like that just really emphasizes the things that they did repeat, because the fact that they're all saying it just means that it's very true and it's important. So definitely try to look out for the things that my friends are repeating here. My friend Sarah said, don't slack off freshman year because it really does impact you in the end, and they weren't joking when they said that high school goes by fast, and try to have fun. My friend Amanda said to join at least one club or sport, and make the most of your high school years because it goes by fast. Again, we're seeing a theme here. My friend Bree said to live in the moment because it goes by faster than you think. Lastly, I want to put in here that my friend Emma said to branch out and try new things even if they seem out of your comfort zone, and do as many things as possible because you don't really know if you like something until you try it. Yes, that's all the advice that I have for today's video. If you want to see more content from me other than my YouTube, here's my other social medias. Put them on the screen and they're always linked in the description box. Also in the description box you can check out things like my Amazon storefront, my family's clothing business, my business email if there's any YouTubers or brands that want to collaborate with me, Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. And see you next time. Bye, party people!